Hello and welcome everybody. My name is Savage and today we're going to be having a look at Ethereum. We've had a whole bunch of nothingness happening overnight and yeah, it's pretty much just a whole lot of sideways movement. We're going to investigate where we think this is going to go from here. But before we jump into that, I'd like to say first thank you for watching the video. If you like the content, please smash that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't hit it already. You know, there's about 40% of the people watching who haven't subscribed. We really appreciate it. Helps motivate the team to keep going on putting out these videos. And yeah, just gives us puts a little bit of a smile on our face. So why not give us a subscribe button for Christmas? Okay, with all that said and done, let's get into the price action here. Okay, what we were looking at potentially yesterday was looking for a move down into this wave 2 position, or as a B wave retracement into this 1189 to this 1167 zone. And for the most part, this is still possible. The thing is with this current structure here, it is starting to look a bit like a triangle developing within this move. And the way they would have to look at this is an A, a B, potentially a C into here. This would be a D wave, and then we're looking to form an E wave to the downside. So it is possible we have a triangle within this, and that would look something like this. Basically, this would be our lower trend line, and potentially this would be our upper trend line here. It could be that this wave still has some upside potential, but we wouldn't really want it to cross this high point here. Crossing above this 2223.39 would invalidate the potential of a triangle here. If this is a triangle, basically what we would be looking at is, if I just throw this on here quickly, this would be an A wave, a B wave, C wave, D wave. We'd look for an E wave to the downside, and then we'd be looking to break to the upside. If it does play out as a triangle, what our typical area of target, our target area would be around this 1295.22. If this is the case, what we'd be looking for then is this to be a B, and a C to the upside, and effectively that would be a corrective structure, because this cannot, if this is a triangle in this position, it would not be able to develop into an impulse to the upside, and effectively this counted as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wouldn't be able to happen. It is also possible that potentially we have this triangle the other way around, which is something we need to just be mindful of, where we could actually have this as a B wave triangle, and this is actually an A, a B, looking to form the C wave, D and E, and then we could actually look to break down. If this triangle does break to the downside, what we would be looking at is the potential of, depending on where this goes, like it's the same thing, we can't cross above this high point here. Um, what we'd be looking for is potentially to move down towards this 1189.86 zone. And what that would be looking at is the potential of having, oh, sorry, that's the wrong button. The potential of having this as an A, a B, and a C to the downside like this. It is also possible that we have something else going on in here, maybe some kind of a diagonal shape within this move where we've had a really shallow B wave, and this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. But we would normally expect these to be sort of a bit more slanted to the upside, though it is still possible we could see something like that. And if we were looking at a diagonal potential, what we'd be looking at is still holding this low here. But I do think this low at 1198.20, I do think we're going to be coming down. This is my primary expectation, is that we're going to be looking for this drop a bit lower down into this 1889 to this 1160, sorry, 1189 to this 1167 area. That's my primary expectation. Um, if we do manage, however, to stay above this line, and maybe it does develop as that triangle, like we said, then we'd be looking for that break to the upside. There is a few things we need to talk about. If this does look to break down into the zone, that's fine. What we could be looking at is, like we talked about yesterday, if you want more information, we did go quite in depth yesterday, so it's probably a good idea to watch that if you are looking for where this is potentially going. I explained the macro side of it a bit more. And basically what we'd be looking at is the potential that we have this third wave looking to come to the upside. If we come down here, we could be looking for this third wave to play out. off of this 50%, we'll go off of that 50% because that's where we got a price target so far. Basically, the typical third wave off of that would be a 1326.60 zone. I don't. This basically looks at the potential that we have a flat correction here, and we're looking for a C wave to the a C wave or a Y wave to the upside. We don't know yet. It could just be a 3-3-3 move, or it could develop into a 1-2-3-4 and a 5 to the upside. That's if this is playing out. However, we need to be mindful that there is the alternative that we looked at. Once again, we looked at this yesterday. Um, we could be looking to just form this as a wave 2 into this high. And basically, if we do form that triangle, it could look to push us into this zone here. And this is a previous zone of consolidation and support and resistance, basically. So it is possible we look at to move into this red box area, and which ties in quite nicely with this rejection zone here. So it's possible we look to this as an A, B, and a C up into these highs, and then we look to break down further. This is basically my primary expectation. There is, however, another way of looking at this, which is slightly different, and this is solely because I don't trust this move to the upside yet. If we do continue to the upside, then I would disregard this. But for as long as we don't manage to break back above this 1230 zone, I would be very cautious on the fact that we could have this as an A, a B, and a C as a flat correction in a fourth wave. And what that would be looking at is potentially having this as a fourth wave or as a fourth wave within this move, and we look to break down and we don't take this high again. If that does occur, then basically what we'd have to be looking at is potentially that we are looking towards this 1137 to this 1110 area. That would be my typical target area. Would need more information, though currently at the moment this structure is not looking good for saying that we're going to be moving down in an impulse, because either way, if it's a triangle, um, it doesn't fit for having this fifth wave to the downside. So it's just this is a thing that I'm just keeping a track of in the background, just in case we do start to break down and take this low here at this 1150 zone. But for the most part, this is what I think is going on. I think we're going to be either getting an A, B, C to the upside, or a 5-wave move to the upside. I do think this is probably going to go down. And if we look at the stochastics, the 1 hour has got room, the 4 hour and the 8 hour though are overbought, and the daily is also starting to head up here now. So it's possible that we could be looking for a little bit of more upside within these moves, but I do think we need to have a retracement before we look to push up to the levels of talking. If we're talking about trying to make a third wave here, I do think that it's more probable that we're going to be looking for a move down first and then a move up. However, if we're looking to form that B wave, it could also be likely that we just form this triangle, push up into these zones, and then push everything into the overbought position, and basically then look for that continuation to the downside. That is basically what we're going to be keeping an eye on. At the moment, there's not enough off of this structure to see if we've got our break to the downside target and our break to the upside target. You know, if this is developing as a triangle, as a B wave, when we look for that high point at that 1-to-1, which we talked about, which would be roughly around the 1281 zone. It can fall short though. Basically, the minimum I'd want to see is a 0.618 of this A wave. That would be where I'd be looking at as a minimum. So we can just keep that in mind, that this could fall short here, and then we look to break to the downside from there. So this is what we're going to be keeping an eye on. We will keep you up to date as best we can as the moves happen. But for the most part, I think we've got either this move to the downside and this into the square area, or we're going to be looking for this break to the upside once we complete this triangular shape. Okay, so with that said and done, I hope everyone has a great day, and until we see each other in the next video, take care out there, everybody.